So seeing someone else do really exceptionally well on a weapon that I just can't play for the life of me, it's quite something.
Yeah, absolutely. Zol's one of those interesting characters because like he does have that pretty standard loadout that you'd want, where you have one weapon. I mean, both weapons are capable of stringing, but Cannon has that strength of having a KO confirm combo, which some weapons don't have. So, despite it being slightly harder to land than other D-Light recoveries, D-Light nairs that you might see on weapons like gauntlets, Zol is still a character with sort of the loadout you want, but very much the same is Jaehyun having the great sword to rack up the damage and the sword to knock out. And speaking of knocking out, Skeldra looking to do so very early here. Doesn't manage to find it though, and Bamya manages to reset to neutral, grab that damage and keep it equal here. Now finds the side air and just stealing away that stock.
Something that you really gotta keep in mind, not only against Axe as a weapon, but also against Sol as a character, is that you cannot afford to trade, because the high damage output of both of those weapons plus the high damage stat of Sol will mean that you will always be going negative if you're going hit for hit. Bamya seems to just give up the stock, but still lives pretty well at counting his jump options. And now Skeldra trying to go for that recovery on Greatsword, a really far hitting move, and trying to chain that momentum with a dash jump into hitting Bamya, but doesn't need to, he just gets the raw Sair.
Yeah, now, I mean, we sort of know the game plan here, at least for Skeldra, which is obviously racking up that damage with the Greatsword and then trying to find the knockouts with the sword, but Bamya playing well around it. I mean, we know that if you're playing against a Greatsword player, they're going to be looking for these grounded openings, and Skeldra is really just not finding them here. Bamya positioning really, really well, and adapting to the fact that Skeldra isn't looking for these big bridges all the time, just going for this one opening, trying to feel out how Bamya's going to react, and Bamya reacting with wake ups quite consistently, as even to Skeldra taking the big chunk of damage here as the neutral light will disarm. Skeldra barely managing to survive. The GC neutral light as well will secure the knockout, and now Bamya with a handy lead here in this first game.
I really like the innovation of Bamya coming out trying to confirm the knockout there, because Axe is a weapon that, although the hitboxes are very massive, Sair has extremely high knockback. It is a weapon that struggles to kill because you have that lack of confirmed kill option, like D-Light recovery on Sword, for example. Skeldra almost taking them out.
Oh, okay.
Never mind. He just took them out completely.
Yeah, Bamya opting to try to grab a chase dodge with that neutral eye instead of going for the cannon Sair to get that space. And now Skeldra in a similar position to how he was at the start of Bamya's second stock, but now we're seeing a repeat of what happened, where Bamya just taking control of this neutral. Skeldra options dwindling, managing to dodge back to the wall.
Oh, beautiful.
For anything here, but Bamya is just there and ready. Finds the end sig and shuts down Skeldra in game number 1. I think this is definitely going to be a set that's all about adaptation here, because when a Greatsword is on the field, there's so many options for flowcharting on what read you go for, how you adapt to your opponent's reactions, and whether or not the opponent can adapt their own reactions. It's all a really big mind game at the top level when you're fighting a weapon like Greatsword. So, I mean, with Skeldra having this much success with the weapon, you can expect there's going to be some very big adaptations. But it's whether or not Bamya can, I guess, counter-adapt is going to be the question for this set.
Yeah, exactly. Like, in this level of play, you can't expect to just stick to the same game plan and just win entire tournaments, win entire best out of 5s. Also, he was just holding that. He wasn't scared. I have to respect that option.
Yeah, and Skeldra just stood there and took it like a man, but he went to take that T-Sword like a man, gets sent all the way out, manages to dodge the side air, trying to turn around now. But Bamya dodging perfectly through the down air. Bamya's playing so well here. Skeldra really struggling to return fire to the Axe as the damage is just chunking up, and like you said, you can't afford to trade with it as the side sig cool out, slamming Skeldra down, then tossing him straight up, and another large lead going Bamya's way.
What Bamya did really well there, I think, is just letting Skeldra do a lot of movement options, because you don't always have to match the same pace as your opponent. You can just wait for them to make a mistake, wait for them to speed up a little bit too much, and then just crash and go down the ravine. And Bamya just did exactly that. He was just standing there, charged up that sig, wait for Skeldra to go into that. Oh, he is really sig angry now.
Yeah.
Skeldra.
Oh no.
Poor guy.
Yeah. If I'm Bamya, I'm taking a second to Skeldra not looking too pleased with what happened. Okay, that's actually honestly, I think 9 out of 10 players would opt for like a D-Light into GC neutral heavy for that punish, but Skeldra actually, very smart choice to position slide charge the down heavy to get in front of Bamya and make use of the variable direction that heavy move has to send behind him and get
Skeldra is cooking on the greatsword.
And now, yeah, cooking it up. And this is the first time we're seeing Skeldra really get the damage through. And there is, you can see how good that greatsword can be in the right hands when he does manage to find that damage rack up.
Skeldra going for the edge guard, gets the weapon spawn on top of him, blessed by Odin, is now 1-1. Double stacking the greatsword. Bamya on the cannon.
We're seeing Skeldra start to adapt a bit here. Previously, he was just going for these openers and waiting to see how Bamya would react, and then we saw there in that last stock that he fully committed to one of those full strings because Bamya just wasn't dodging out of those openers. But now Bamya, doesn't matter if he's not dodging out the openers, if Skeldra can't even find any of the openers, as he's just taking so much control with this cannon, using every blast of these aerials to give him so much space.
This is what I was waiting for from Skeldra. Skeldra is utilizing the aerials and the recovery of greatsword finally, because in the first game he barely did that, if at all. And being that grounded against both of these weapons, cannon and axe, is just asking to get enlighted. Bamya catching Skeldra off guard, getting that D-light into Nair. Skeldra on the Mako.
Okay. I mean, this is a character we've seen. I mean, level 85 on the Mako. This is the character that Skeldra sort of really made a name for himself with by just tearing up the EU ranked queue with the Mako, and then sort of taking a step back from it. Because I mean, the general consensus is that Jaehyun is the best greatsword character, just for how consistent you can be with a very strong Sig kit and having the sword for the D-light recovery and D-light side air for the knockout. Because what Mako doesn't have is a guaranteed KO confirm. I mean, Katars, if anything, can be harder to KO with than greatsword. So the question is going to be, like, damage build-up is going to be super easy on this character, but it's finding those KOs that's really going to be the big question mark in this swap.
Yeah, like, I think D-light into reverse recovery on Katars is still guaranteed as long as the opponent doesn't have a dodge. So you still have some. Oh wait, Skeldra, what are you doing?
Okay, well, we're going low.
He just fully committed. But like, both of these weapons in Skeldra's hand, are like 3 of the 4 weapons on this stage, are really explosive, read punishing weapons. But it also comes to the downside of it's balanced out by struggling to confirm knockouts. And this is what we were talking about earlier. You can't afford trades against a character like Zul. It feels like Skeldra got more hits on the Katars than Bamya did on the axe. And still the damage is even, especially considering Skeldra is on a very light legend. And that Seraphim Center stage will take Skeldra out.
That GC side sig was definitely one of the plays of all time. I'm not gonna lie. and Bamya, yeah, punishing accordingly, finds the side air, and now Skeldra is in that position we're worried about. Does manage to find the recovery to shut down that stock. Stemming the bleeding for now, hasn't taken too much punishment. Now the greatsword back in hand. I mean, we saw a lot of work from the Katars on that first stock, and none from the greatsword. And the greatsword's really been that damage option with the Jaehyun. So the question is going to be whether or not Skeldra can continue the damage rack up with the greatsword that he had on the Katars, and so far the answer is no, as Bamya just running amok with this axe.
What I really found interesting. Oh my!
Oh no!
Bamya cutting him up. What I really found interesting about Skeldra, because he was the person that got first striking, meaning he got the option to leave open 3 other stages for Bamya to pick from. All of the 3 stages Skeldra left open were platform stages. It was the new map of the newest battle pass. I forgot the name. It's like the 3 platform map. You had Mishima, and we're currently on Western Air Temple.
Oh my! It's not looking good. Dude, I don't even have words. Like, Bamya just made that look so easy, and I mean, that's pretty crazy considering we came into this set talking about